Hello, everyone. This is Burstlimit Jones, and welcome to another episode of Burstlimit Memoirs. As I talk about certain stories within my life, as I give you visuals of the games I've been playing on my PS5. From last time, I told you about my journey into Marine Corps boot camp as I, transitioned from being a small town kind of person into going into the most strenuous branch of service of the military that I've ever experienced, or if anyone can experience, is the United States Marine Corps. Just to do a small recap, went through boot camp. Got held back at least twice because of stupid reasons, and I managed to make it to my graduation date on my birthday. And now moving on to Marine combat training. Now this is where my story in the Marine Corps continues. So, without further ado, let's get into the story. So, being from a small town like Bainbridge, Georgia, and when I had to leave, you couldn't just go to any bus station like a Greyhound or anything like that to even get to any other state. First, you had to go all the way down to Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, to get on the bus, and then go up to Atlanta and wait in Atlanta for like I don't know how long, like maybe an hour, 2 hour layover or whatever. And as I was waiting, give you something to eat, call my parents, and just sit down. This was before smartphones, so all you had to do was just sit and wait. So by the time the bus got here, I met this girl. Her name was Alexandria. I forgot her last name, but she was a cute little light skinned girl, and we was like chopping it up for a little bit inside the Greyhound bus station until it was time to get on the bus. I thought it was going to be the end of that, but she asked me to sit with her on the bus the whole ride up there. So the whole ride up there, we managed to sit, talk, and whatnot. And she has been in the Marine Corps longer than me, so she told me everything that would happen, could happen, that is going to happen while you're in. So I'm up here listening, soaking up the information or whatever. And by the time we get to South Carolina, because we got to pass through South Carolina to get to North Carolina, because that's where the training for Marine combat training is. Anyway, by the time we got up there, like she had warmed up to me and she started like resting her head on my shoulder, all this, that, and the third. And I thought that, we would have like had some kind of, relationship or some kind of, friends with benefits type of situation. But it didn't end up that way. And it turns out that by the time we got there, she had already had somebody with her, and or she was with somebody already. So by the time by the time we got there to North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, that is, got out the bus, and she said her boyfriend was coming. Like, why do women do that? Why do they do that? Like, why do they reveal that they have a boyfriend at the last minute? And now, in my adult years, being 30, almost 34 years old, I managed to peep game that she just used me to pass the time until she got where she needed to be and back to her man or whatever. Anyway, she said the least she could do was give me a ride, or have her boyfriend give me a ride to the place I had to go, was Camp Geiger or whatever. However, he said no, and that was it. And she just ran off and started kissing him or whatever. I never seen her again, and even though I tried to look her up and see was she okay or how she was doing or whatever, it seems like she had gotten into a little trouble and possibly got kicked out. Anyway, so I'm in a new state by myself, don't know anybody or whatever. So I managed to get with certain people that I was in boot camp with, that I recognized from. Well, that I recognized from when I got held back the second time, and got to know a different platoon or different other recruits for a week before we graduated or whatever. And we all shared a cab and we went to Camp Geiger. Um, by the time we got to Camp Geiger, we were checking in, had our orders, this, that, whatever. Then we had to wait. There's always a waiting game. And then you had to process in, and then you had to take a drug test and shots, and yeah, that's basically it for the waiting period. But after that, we met our instructors, and we we began our training. First, we had to put on our uniforms and get rifles, weapons, gear, and all that other good stuff. So once training started, we had to hike all the way to we hiked every goddamn where. We hiked everywhere from the barracks to the chai hall to the places that we had to go to train. We was doing a whole bunch of running at one point, running in doggone steel toe boots. Steel toe boots wasn't like mandatory until, well, that's a different story for later. But yeah, all that training we had to do. And then I had no idea of how cold a state can be until I experienced North Carolina as a whole. Like, one day it'll feel very, very warm, very warm, very manageable, until one day you'll wake up and it's freezing balls. So you could be like, wearing shorts going to bed, wearing shorts and a t-shirt going to bed. But by the time you waking up, you freezing your ass off, and it'll be too late to try to put on something warm to get back into bed to get a couple more Z's, because guess what? It's time to get your behind up and get ready for doggone training. Now, I know that after that, we went to a rifle range. We went to a rifle range, and we had to hike out very, very far. And we abandoned the barracks, not abandoned, but like we moved out of the barracks. We took everything we had, and instead of staying in the barracks, we stayed in a nice dorm. Not a dorm, but it was a dome. It was a dome to where it's like, oh, get your sleeping bags out, lay on the ground or whatever. And it was fun, and it's like everybody was talking about all their various pastimes, like Power Ranger the Beetleborgs, or damn Monica or Brandy, or Hot Pockets or pizza, just shit like that. And then like there were times where we were all like saying our favorite tunes, like, and I remember Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake was a big thing back from 2006 to 2009, or I want to say 2008, give or take. And everybody would just all singing Justin Timberlake songs, especially "My Love" and "What Goes Around Comes Around," and what was the other one? What was the other one? I want to say "Love Stone," but maybe that's just me. But anyway, for days we were like doing tactical training, react drills, and scavenger hunts, or what else we were doing? We went to several different rifle ranges, and instead of using our damn regular rifles, we shot like machine guns, Mark 19s, or I forgot what they were. There was like, what's it called? Was it called a saw? A saw, I believe. It was just fun shooting all those guns and using all, just like, basically we were being paid to just shoot rifle rounds all day, and it was fun, while going back and forth saying which way you prefer, and then singing tunes and songs. It was fun, and the instructors were very friendly up to a point. If you piss them off, and they'll let you know that you pissed them off. They'll take all the fun out of all the training, and it will just be business as usual. Now, towards the end, I didn't, like I said from last video, when I was at the Crucible, I didn't say nothing. If I had got hurt, I didn't say anything. Like, I remember I had twisted my ankle, carrying all that stuff. I didn't say nothing. I did my training to the best of my ability, and I never really knew like how strong armed I was. Like I would like as a fresh adult, I didn't realize how really strong I was. Like when we had to do climbing a rope or whatever, like they gave you a technique of how to climb a rope. I know certain people know that, but me on the other hand, like I strong armed it all the way up, and then like came on, like, and then gently came all the way down, and then once I got halfway down, I jump off. I didn't want to make it seem like I was a weak person. And I have had that philosophy for a very long time now. You got to show people that you're strong no matter what. Even in your most private moments, you need to like shed a little weakness or whatever. Like, do that, but don't but in my experience, I look over my shoulder every time when I feel like I'm sad, upset, or if I feel like I'm about to cry or anything like that. I I look over my shoulder to make sure that like nobody's like looking or saying anything or say something like, "Oh, he a big ass crybaby. He almost 23, 20, or not 23. He almost 19 years old, still crying or whatever." And I didn't want that. And there be plenty of dudes that cry, plenty of dudes that I've seen cry, and females or women, I ain't gonna say just females, women sympathize with them. Like they really sympathize with them. But if I do it, I'm a crybaby. I'm a retard. There are certain names. There are certain names I could go on, but that's a whole different videos or different stories for different days, different videos, different times. So I don't mean to get ahead of myself. Anyway, we managed to finish training because the training lasted from I think no, the training only lasted for a month. That was the shortest training period I ever had. Like it was only a month. Of course, we had to for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and the Marine Corps birthday fall on the same month. So Marine Corps birthday. You go. I think at the Chow Hall we had uh Marine Corps Chow Hall. We had lobsters. What was that? Shrimp cocktails, steak, you name it. On Marine Corps birthday, they pull out all the stops. Big ass birthday cake and all that. It's like as soon as you become a Marine, you automatically get a second birthday. You have your birth year, and then you have the time before you became a Marine. But you still have the same time the Marine Corps came into existence birthday. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But um oh yeah, I didn't mention in last video that by the time like the crucible was over and we had to did the hike back, and by the time I managed to do the hike back and actually got my emerald and became a Marine, I actually did cry at that time. And the Warriors breakfast like was the breakfast of champions. Like you could just keep going back over and over and eating. Like back then, like before you became a Marine, it was just 3 meals a day. That was it. But Warriors breakfast, you can go back and forth, eating from cereal to damn steak, burgers, all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm running out of time, and I don't want to take up too much anybody else's time with this. But yeah, Marine combat training, like it ended by November. And the funny thing that happened, like by the time we got back to port side, because we mainly went to starboard side to the ranges for the rest of the training. But by the time we came back, they had announced that two people had failed the urinalysis and they had to get NJP, non-judicial punishment. So basically, if you're in the Marine Corps, you do something stupid, they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever you want, do whatever they want as far as like punishment wise. They can either take your rank, take your money, or kick you out altogether. It's whatever that they want to do. And mind you, like there were only two people that had got in trouble. So I believe that was it for Marine combat training as far as that goes. I'm just giving like I said, this is just content to pass the time before I, put up my other content that I have to take my literal time on. If you go back to my Peacemaker video, you will know that I took my time on that one. That's why it took so long to come out. But be on the lookout for more content. I believe if you have been looking at my videos for a very long time, the next video, regular video that is coming out is Devil May Cry. The Devil May Cry video game, the reboot game that came out in 2013, 2014, I believe. Not the original trilogy or the original franchise or whatnot. The one that's in an alternate reality, from what I've read. I thought it was just a regular reboot. I didn't know that. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm just going off topic here. But, as I passed Marine Corps combat training, it was done. We got ready to go into the fleet and go meet no. We wasn't ready to go to the fleet yet because we had to go to MOS school is what we were had to be trained to do in order to go do our job that we're going to do in the Marine Corps. Mind you, I would have took infantry or anything like that, or Marine Corps or police or whatever, but I played it safe for the sake of my mom, and I'm not blaming my mom for it, but I was better off for it, and I chose to do warehouse. So go figure. So join me next time as I go to my MOS school over there in Camp Johnson, which is right down the goddamn street from Camp Geiger that I did my Marine combat training. But I didn't join my MOS school as of yet because there was a small detour that derailed me from getting training real soon. It wasn't because of my incompetence. Well, kinda. But it was due to Camp Guard. So join me next time as I tell you those stories from Camp Guard to the MOS school. And then the next story will be me being in the fleet. So I appreciate you guys for listening to my story. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all next time.